Now then, we're halfway along this first cove to the east of Point J. You'll note that the end of this plank on my left is next to the hedge bank. Well, how much room is there outside me? Hardly anything, only a foot or two, and that foot or two is crumbling rock. In fact, at the end of the plank here, you'll see a fissure in the rock, a hairline crack here. It goes all the way along under the path, under the grass for many yards, because the strata, this is Ordovician slate rock, this is Ordovician slate, and it's tilted at right angles to the way it was laid, because it's a sedimentary rock, and this is coming off exactly like sliced bread. There's a crack here in the rock, and it goes all the way along, and the public are meant to walk here. Now there's going to be a catastrophe here. This here, look how loose it is. Look. Look how loose these cliffs are. The public are meant to walk here. Look. Is this a safe place for people to bring children? Look at this. The cliffs are falling apart. Look. It's so friable I can push it with a plank. As soon as we knock a fence post in here, using a rock auger every 10 feet, and a post knocker to slam the post into the rock 2 feet, all of this is going to fall, and it could take the tractor with it. And if it doesn't go that day, there'll be so many fissures in this rock that it'll be totally unsafe for anybody to walk here. And yet this is inside my farm park, and the council want to bring families here. It is absolutely disgraceful. There is a 150-foot drop here. Another 15 meters to the east of that vertical crack, and you can see again that there is no width here. The cliffs are vertical. The cliffs are crumbling all along here. So all of this will go in future with coastal erosion, and especially when they start knocking posts in here. But the point is, there's no room for the path. If this is the hedge bank on my left, and the path is meant to be 2 meters, so where is the 2 meter safety margin? It isn't here. Note the overhanging grass, the overhanging turf with the rock underneath gone, and further over you can see that the cliff is crumbling. There are cracks in it, huge chunks have fallen in the last 6 months. It is falling apart, as I've just demonstrated. So note the rock further down, which is full of huge cracks. All of that has slipped down from this cliff face. And this is where Ceredigion County Council want to put a public path without a fence on the outside, inside Cardigan Island Coastal Farm Park, attracting thousands of people. Well, they'll be attracting thousands to their deaths if they come here. This is absolutely disgraceful. Yet it's cost me £75,000 in legal fees to fight, in legal and professional fees to fight this for the last 3.5 years. No council safety officer has been here. Nobody is taking action to prevent what are obvious deaths here. Now we're in the next cove further east. Just another 30-40 meters further east from the last cove. This one's even worse. This rock here is overhanging and loose. There's a huge chunk of rock weighing many tons here, and this here is overhanging. Look how friable this is. I can push it loose with a plank. If I can push this loose with a plank, how is it safe for children to walk here? How is it safe for children to walk here?
So we got it.
I can push this rock off with a plank. The whole thing is about to fall. There could be 200 children here when it does. I'm recording both. You'll have to be on I am now another 25 metres further east around the same cove, and you can see yet again there isn't 2 metres outside this path, because the path is meant to go where this plank is, and the plank is 2 metres wide. Well, there's obviously not 2 metres outside, so how on earth are they going to create a public footpath here? I've now come a further 20 metres further east along the same cove. Now the plank is 2 metres wide, the hedge is on my left, the path has been shown where I'm standing, so where is the 2 metres of safety outside here? We've got a 60-degree slope here and then a 150-foot drop. So how on earth is this safe? It's clear that you can't create a path here that's safe on the flat, because children are going to be blown over the cliffs by gusts of wind. You've got no room for the path. The path is supposed to be closed if it's less than 2 metres outside it, and the other side of this hedge is S Island with rare plants. They've got no right to remove this hedge or to put the path on the inside of the hedge, because that would need a creation order. Now, if the inspector intended the path to be the other side of the hedge, why didn't he move it by modification order in March 2007? Because either side of this stretch, to the west and to the east, the planning inspector Alan Blackley moved the path inland by modification order and delayed the path creation process by 6 months, from March 2007 to September 2007. In doing so. Now, he didn't touch this section that we've been filming today. Why didn't he do so? He couldn't have seen the path, otherwise he wouldn't have left it here. He didn't walk here with me, because on the Friday of the public inquiry he turned round at Point J before ever reaching this section. He turned round because he wanted to go back to Lincolnshire at 1 p.m. on the Friday, and he didn't come over here. Now he claims to have walked here on his own on the Monday. Well, previous to that. Well, he can't have done so, or else he wouldn't have left the path here. It's illegal here. It's within 2 metres of the cliff edge, and it's highly dangerous. And he doesn't mention this area at all in his report on the path creation order report. It's not even mentioned. So how can a path be put here? There's no room for it. This is the ravine at Point F on our boundary with Nantecroy. That field across this ravine is Nantecroy Farm. So the boundary of our farm park of Cardigan Island Coastal Farm Park, which you'll find on cardiganisland.com/petition, is that fence across the ravine. So this ravine is within the farm park. Now, how are the public with little children and grandmothers, etc., going to cross this ravine safely as they come from Munt in that direction? About a mile in that direction is Munt, which is a well-known beach with a little church and a National Trust car park. Now, many people will park there to try and get into this farm park free of charge. They'll be coming along the dangerous cliffs of Nantecroy outside the fence across the valley there, and then they'll have to cross this ravine. Now, this ravine is about 80 foot deep and is 75 metres wide along across the top. They're supposed to build a little bridge down in the bottom. Well, in 1993, in June 1993, there was 15 to 20 foot of water running down through this ravine. There was a torrent after a flash flood. And if there's any bridge down the bottom, it'll be washed away. If that happens again in the summer and there's people on the bridge, they'll be washed into the sea. Because there was a torrent here. This ravine has been created by water, obviously, or else it wouldn't be here. And that's the volume of water that comes down here at certain times of year. And yet the council want to put a tiny bridge down the bottom because they've got no money to create this path. They want to create the whole of this path for a mile and a half for about £11,000. It's totally ludicrous. It can't be done.
Okay.